Here's the new beginnings. Here's the new beginnings. The pull up so independent. We pull up so independent.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Sloan Blueprint. I am your co-host, Nicole Sloan.
And I'm Eric Sloan.
And we're delighted that you have joined us again today for another episode of fun,
Laughter, yeah, all that.
But most importantly, what?
Most importantly, what? It's us. We're here. What
Me,
you
baby.
need?
Me, baby. But yeah.
We say not being conceited, but hey, it is what it
never
is.
Never that.
But one of the things I wanted to bring up, we recently attended a charity event, and I must say it was a phenomenal event.
It was.
The people, the food, the speaker.
Tell them the name of it.
The speaker was.
Tell them the name of the event
The
first.
speaker was fantastic.
So the name of the event, it was the Chastity D. Barnes Scholarship Memorial Dinner. And this is an event that is held every year in honor of Chastity D. Barnes. And as Eric said, the event was phenomenal. The people were great. The food was great. I didn't get to eat till the end because I don't like to eat before I speak. That's besides the point, isn't it?
That's what I said.
What'd you say?
No, I'm just joking.
But yeah.
No, but it was an outstanding event, and you had the opportunity to be the guest speaker. And based off of your speech and some of the information that was given, I thought it would be advantageous for us to bring it to the podcast and then just to elaborate just a little bit more. So the subject was, and let me make sure I got it right, the subject was dream until it becomes a reality and commit to the process.
Correction. Dream until it becomes your reality. Oh. And commit to the process.
My bad. I ain't like that.
Your reality. Right.
So that's the inspiration of today's episode, pretty much from that speech. And I think I wanted to take the direction of, especially when you started your dreams not just being a fairy tale. Because, you know, sometimes you dream and then you dream big, but then you think like, oh, this is not a reality. This is just a fairy tale and it may never come true. Well, and sometimes it may not come true, but your dreams are more than just a fairy tale. Your dreams are something that can help your vision, help you to go beyond where you are right now and help propel you and help you to grow as, number one, as a person, but help give you some direction as far as, I know we said before, making it plain, but that helps. So once you dream it and then you see it, then all of a sudden it's like, okay, this is a possibility.
Yeah, your dreams help to shape believe it or not, help shape your future in your life, and that's what I was talking about. So it's important to be mindful of what you, when you dream, what you say, what comes out of your mouth. You got to be mindful of the environment that you're in. Because all of those things can have either a positive or a negative effect on your dream. So you have to be really mindful of that. So as you said, your dreams can help shape your future. So as we always say, be careful of what you speak out of your mouth, because what you speak out of your mouth can manifest. Correct. In just what you're surrounding yourself with.
Well, and then as we talk about dreams, and not to take the direction to a different way or a different path, but thinking about it from the Bible standpoint as well. As Joseph, you know, he was a big dreamer, and then when he would start communicating his dream, and then you would start having haters, and not only haters, but then from your brother, from your family, from others, as far as being able to dream, because he was a big dreamer. He dreamed that his brothers would come ill before him, and so many years later, that dream became a reality. But he also had other dreams, being able to tell folks as far as what their vision would be or what happened in their lives. So just thinking about from a dream that it, again, not just being a fairy tale, but being able to take you ultimately to another level. But then also, I guess, as it relates to dreams, sharing your dreams with different people and sometimes unsupportive people, because you start thinking about in your dreams, like, I'm telling this one, but then this person may not buy into your dream. And understanding that even because somebody else is not buying into your dream doesn't mean that that dream is not important. Or sometimes, as you just mentioned before, getting into a different environment that will help you along the way.
Well, that's why you can't allow everybody to be in your ear, telling you what to do and how to do it. I referenced those as dream killers, because dream killers, sometimes they want to do what you do, or they just don't have the capacity or the capability. And so that's why we have to be cognizant of that, but also know that dream killers don't necessarily come in the form of people or a person either. I don't know if most people even thought about that.
So as we're talking about, well, it's a good segue, as we talk about dream killers. So what are some examples, or I guess we can talk about one example of a dream killer, and one being the fear of success. I think that would be an ultimate dream killer, because sometimes you can dream and your dreams can be so big and so far out there, and then you can start working and going towards that dream. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, it's happening. And then you start sabotaging yourself. So that fear of success is, to me, a significant dream killer. And
also on the other hand with that, you know, sometimes when it comes to the fear of success, sometimes we feel as if, you know, once we reach a certain level, God blesses us to reach a certain level, then we'll be left out per se, you know, because we feel that, you know, there's judgment, the feeling of just not fitting in when you're successful. And so I referenced also the saying that sometimes it can be lonely at the top. Absolutely it can. But you have to be prepared. You have to be strong enough to handle that level of success. And it's not easy. It's not easy, because you do face those kinds of things, and you just have to know, you have to be strong enough and courageous enough to be able to withstand the judgments.
Well, and then the opposite of success is failure. So sometimes that dream killer can be that fear of failure.
Yeah, been
I always
there,
think,
yeah.
yeah, well, we mentioned
times.
that, yeah, exactly, a couple of times, but I always think like, oh, well, it's not going to work out, so I'm not going to do it.
Right, because you know, the thing in the back of your mind is, we know that we will experience challenges, you'll experience failures, but in the back of your mind, you're like, man, how am I going to bounce back if this happens? You know, well, what if? You know, it's always what if. And like you said, so I remember there was a quote that I also mentioned. It said, the one who falls and gets up is stronger than the one who never tried. That fear of failure, it very well may be real. It was real for me, because I was more, I think I was feeling intimidated because I couldn't do it like this one or that one. And so automatically I said, well, you know, if I can't do it like them, there's no chance of me succeeding at this, you know.
And that's when it comes to, with that, having your own flavor.
Having your own flavor.
To it, because, yeah, we say we go drive down the street, where they say you see a McDonald's on one corner, you see a Burger King on another corner, you see a Wendy's here, and then you see all these other things.
Chick-fil-A.
So, oh yeah, you know the Lord's chicken.
Chick-fil-A now. Don't leave Chick-fil-A out.
See, but you know, Chick-fil-A is always in this other area.
Another category.
But that, I guess what we're talking about there is just that comparison. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. You run your own race and do it your way, because somebody's going to resonate with you and with the way that you're doing, the way that you say it, the way that you operate, and how you present yourself. But then there are always going to be some people out there that's not going to ride with you. And it is what it is.
It is what it is. And, you know, I don't know why this came to my mind. Maybe it was an old story growing up or something. What was it? If at first you don't succeed, try again. Which it was like a childhood book or something. Maybe The Little Engine That Could. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not.
That is one, but I don't know if that was it.
That might not be it. But again, you don't succeed. You just got to get up and try again.
Yeah. Well, and then I think another dream killer is, you know, a lot of people want to do certain things, but the lack of work ethic. You know, with anything, you have to have a diligent work ethic to fulfill whatever dream or whatever you're trying to accomplish.
You do.
So what are your thoughts, I guess, as it relates to just that lack of work ethic and how that becomes a dream killer.
Well, anything that's worth having, you have to work hard for. And so you have to be willing to put in the work to make your dream a reality. A lot of times we think we see the exterior, we see what people have and what they've been able to accomplish, but we don't see the hard work that goes behind it, behind the scenes. You know, people always say, oh man, y'all are doing so great. And they just don't know the sleepless nights, the days that we've cried and, you know, been at each other's throats, you know. But it's true, isn't it?
No.
Yeah, yes. But people don't see that. Again, they see your glory, but don't know your story. And so a lot of times, and especially for me, not growing up, you know, my parents, of course, took care of us very well. You know, we had everything that we needed. But for our children to experience the lives that we live now, that's something that we just did not have the opportunity to do then. And so, again, it's not that my parents didn't work hard. They worked hard as well, but we just decided to take it to a new level for our generation, for our children, and for our children's children, and so forth. So, again, if you aren't prepared to work for your dream, then you might as well know that you'll never live it. You just won't live your dream if you're not prepared to work for it.
I like that. I like that. Well, then I think one other thing as it relates to dream killers are excuses. So I think, I don't know what the poem was, but it says, excuses are monuments of nothing that build bridges that lead to nowhere. Those that use them are incompetent and masters of nothing. And I always, anytime I think about whenever I'm trying to utilize an excuse, I don't want to do this, that resonates with me, and then that just pushes me like, oh no, I need to get this done. Let me go ahead and just step out and do it. If I fail at it, I'm going to fail fast, and learn from it, and then continue to move on and grow.
Right, because you can, I mentioned you can either have success or excuses, but you can't have both. And I remember talking about, you know, and you know, 60-plus-year-old individuals that have gone back to college, they have gotten degrees, that are purchasing homes, that are starting businesses, you know. And so a lot of times, even, you know, young or old, we make excuses. Oh, I'm too old, or, you know, I waited too late, or, you know, we talk about what we can't do. But we know that we can do, if we know we can do all things through Christ, it doesn't matter how old you are. Because, you know, you can use that excuse as long as you want to, but as long as you have breath in your body, you can accomplish anything that God gives you a desire to do.
I agree.
As long as you have it, so stop making excuses.
Well, then following up on excuses, a gentleman that I listen to every now and then on Instagram or social media, featuring Jose, one of the things he would always say as it relates to excuses are sophisticated lies. So what are you doing for yourself? You know, you have so many, well, I can't do this because my kids are doing this.
Right.
That's just a sophisticated lie. I can't do this. Well, my car, I don't have any gas money. You know, just a sophisticated lie for why you can't do this or why you can't achieve the things that you're trying to achieve. So that's another thing that actually resonated well. I was like, oh man, well, so why am I lying to myself when the opportunity is there for me to excel and to achieve any and everything? We have the resources that are available right now. And then if you don't have the resources, you can go and look it up on your own. You have YouTube University. Anything that you want to learn is out on YouTube.
That's
and then Instagram and social media, they're producing so much information out there now. And then artificial intelligence, that's just a game changer in itself, especially for those as it relates to ChatGPT. If they haven't heard of that, oh my God.
Right.
That's going to produce
Endless
as much as endless opportunities, endless information. So you really don't have any excuses anymore to stop you from achieving anything.
Exactly.
So that's one of those, I guess, dream killers that we need to, as we say, dispel those myths. There's nothing out there that can stop you from achieving anything that you want to do at this moment. So all you have to do is just step out and do it.
That's true. And it goes back to being committed to the process. You got to commit to it. If you want your dream to become a reality, your reality, then you've got to commit to the process of that. And again, not make excuses. Don't allow these dream killers to kill your dream.
Well,
in a nutshell.
And I know we're talking about the fairy tale early on. Well, helping to create your own fairy tale. You know, we see the movies and be like, oh, ooh, I wish I could do that. Oh, I wish I can do these things. Well, you can. there's nothing stopping you now, especially we say most people have 2 hands, 2 eyes, and a brain to use. Just use it.
Yeah, and some don't, and they still
Correct.
are productive.
Correct. Very productive. I've seen many.
I have too. So no excuses.
Yep.
As far as being committed to your dreams, I think that commitment is going to be required at every stage of your life, no matter how old or how young you are. I remember Eric Thomas, a motivational speaker, he said, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And so that's really important to keep in mind, because, a lot of times when you're committed, to something, you're obligating yourself to something, and you're dedicated to reaching your goals by any means necessary. So don't go back on your commitment. If you made the commitment, no matter what happens, in spite of the dream killers and all the other factors or external, internal factors that play into it, stay the course and stay focused. That's my spiel on that.
No, I like that. Yeah, because I guess a personal story as it relates to commitment is so many things that come up, and we're going back to college. We can talk about commitment from college athletics. We can talk about commitment from a marriage standpoint, but I'm pretty sure we can utilize those for another time. But being committed no matter what is going on, especially if you have spoken a word to yourself to say, this is what I'm going to do, stay committed to it. If you've given a commitment to somebody else, stay committed to it. Same way as it relates to marriage. I'll go ahead and say that as it relates to marriage. When you give those vows before the Lord, you make that commitment. So no matter what is happening, whether something is negative going on right now, not allowing that to discourage you and then, oh, well, I'm about to leave, I'm about to go, I'm about to do this, oh no, I'm not going to do it anymore. So again, that can be classified almost as a dream killer, because now it's not a dream killer from a job or anything like that, but it's a dream killer in your marriage.
It is.
So
just for your family overall, because that's what the enemy wants to attack, is families and marriages. And if he can dismantle and cause confusion in your marriage, then he knows he destroys the family unit. So that's a very good point. Are there any things that you would say, and I would feel that we want to maybe tell them some things to keep in mind as far as in order to commit to your dreams, some things that you have to keep in mind? One specifically was enlarging your vision.
that is, well,
You got to think big and dream bigger. I think it was Steve Harvey that said, if your dream doesn't scare you, or it should be so big that it scares you.
that's pretty good.
You agree with that?
No, I agree with that 100%. And then I guess following up on that, making sure that it is big enough, because if it's something that's attainable, you're going to reach it quickly, and then you become complacent.
Comfortable. That's true.
Yeah, all the above as far
I
as,
was just agreeing.
because you reach it very quickly. For example, you say, I want to make $1 million. Okay, so then once you make that $1 million, then what? Now you're like, oh, I reached my goal. Most people would say, okay, well now I'm going to go for 2 million or 3 million or 4 million. However, how about you just shoot for 20 million or 50 million? Then even if your main goal was just 1 million, if you shoot for 20 million and you surpass that, well, guess what? Now you can change that goal and go even higher. So always pushing yourself, because you're going to be your number one motivator.
That's right.
If you're pushing yourself and you are aggressive with yourself, nothing anybody else says or does, you become your own motivator.
That's true. That's true. And it makes me think about when you said you become your own motivator. In doing so, you've got to build your confidence. You have to increase your confidence. You got to believe in yourself. And that goes back to, I think, the last episode, we talked about making declarations every day. I'm strong, I'm confident, I'm bold, I'm the head and not the tail, above and not beneath, the lender and not the borrower. You have to believe those things about yourself. So those are those self-motivating talks that you have to have and declarations that you have to make on a daily basis.
And looking in the mirror and saying, I am greatness. Because if you feel like you're greatness, then you're going to become great, regardless of what is happening around you.
And not only that, I am greatness, but surround yourself with greatness. If you're the smartest person in the room, then 9 times out of 10, there's a problem. You should never be the smartest person in the room. So attract positive people, and you got to just kind of habitate or live in positive environments in order to increase your confidence and, you know, fulfill those daily affirmations.
I understand. So I like it. So I guess closing it out, just being a dream chaser. Understanding, don't allow the dream killers to stop you from achieving the goals that you have for yourself, for your business, for yourself, for your family, and even for your environment. I guess the next thing would be dream big and, again, commit to the process.
Commit to the process. I want to add this too as we close. Never give up. Never give up. Nothing is impossible. I know for me personally, nothing is impossible with God. Even when it gets a little tough, you've got to hang in there, keep the faith. I termed this many years ago. This is probably back in 2010 when we started something, another business that we had. And I would always say that, you know, and I would tell you, I said, well, I not only do I have faith, but I have extreme faith, because we have to believe that God will do the extreme things for us and in our lives. And so just keep in mind that nothing is impossible. If you fall, get back up. I think Donna McClurkin had a song. We fall down, and we get up. So I ain't
gonna sing though.
No, and I won't either. My voice is gone. but that's the thing. And make sure that you remember that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. So commit, dream big, commit to the process.
Don't worry about the unsupportive people.
Don't worry about it. Sometimes you expect people to support you. You expect the encouragement, but it's not always going to happen. And a lot of times it will be surprisingly the ones that you expect to do it, or the ones that you least expect to not, or to, you know, is that right? The ones that you least expect to not support you. Did I say that right? Or did I say it backwards? Y'all know what I mean. But yeah, so, you know, don't allow that to discourage you. Just stay the course. Stay the course. Keep pushing.
Absolutely. And while we're saying keep pushing for Sloan Blueprint, and continue to follow us on all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and then we're also on Apple Podcasts. So make sure you download and continue to follow us. And also, let's talk about Boss.
Boss Times 2. Yeah, we're still, hey, going strong with Boss Times 2. So y'all go to wearethesloans.com, purchase your Boss Times 2 merchandise, and still, please feel free to email us. And if there's any particular topics or guests that you would like for us to have, email us and let us know. It is info@sloanblueprint.com. info@sloanblueprint.com. Well, we hope you all have enjoyed this segment. We appreciate you being here with us. Be sure to tell all your friends and your family to join us the next time, and be sure to go back and, hey, maybe replay this with some of your family, your friends.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you again. Y'all have a blessed week.
Here's the new beginnings. The pull up so independent. We pull up so independent.